to Tampa Bay. They were lucky in late game scenarios for the 3-0 start. Then it came up short against the Eagles. Todd Bowles' big game this week. Bucs at Seahawks. Ooh, that's good. Todd Bowles knows his team cannot continue to play from behind.
Fight, you're going to have that every week, but you can't fight and get behind the 8 ball against good teams and expect to win. So we're always going to have fight. We just got to clean up mistakes now. It's getting to that point where we got to cut them down.
Yes.
I think everybody knows what Tampa is. A good team, not a great one. And that's fine.
You can't...
Good.
They're dangerous in the playoffs once they get everybody back. Remember, no Mike Evans, right? But this Seattle team, hey, I got to give... I'm loath to give you credit, right? Because, you're Colin, whatever.
Seattle is younger. Seattle's got... When you watch Seattle play, young, fast, mostly inexpensive, like Seattle has been put together very well. They're really, I mean, they're a bungled fumble from being undefeated. And they went to Pittsburgh and hammered a Steeler team that keeps winning games.
Close game late in the second half. But yes, so Seattle, Tampa, I'm seeing 3. I don't think that sticks. I think we're going to see a 3.5. I am curious. If you had a question about this quarterback situation, Sam Darnold versus Baker Mayfield, who right now is the better quarterback going into this game?
Well, they're both. I mean, Sam is more athletic. He's a bigger, stronger athlete. And Baker, I think, just from the pocket, when he plants his foot, probably throws a prettier, quicker release ball. They're both excellent. They're both team-friendly deals. I can like them both. I've always said Sam's bigger. I think Sam is a better athlete. Sam can be reckless, but Baker can be reckless. I want both of them throwing about 28 times a game.
Yeah. All right, fine. Let me adjust the question. 2 minutes left, tie game. Who do you trust more with the ball, Baker or Darnold?
Well, history tells you Baker. But now, here's my thing. Most games don't come down to that. If I get a big series in the third quarter, first quarter, second quarter, and I need playmaking, which you often do, I would take Sam. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think the Bucs have been in a good spot because obviously those first few weeks could have gone a different way, and you could say that about many games all around the league for many teams. The Eagles, the Chiefs, Chargers, whatever. So the fact that they were still able to come away with those wins, obviously early on in the season before they're even full strength, is so crucial because now they're not falling behind from a record standpoint and a standing standpoint. So it's actually pretty interesting for Todd Bowles to kind of talk about this. We can't keep falling behind and expect to win. And it's just like, and I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment, but like they've now, because they were able to find a way to get those wins. One, you show what your team is capable of doing. You've seen what this offense is capable of doing. You've seen what Baker is capable of doing. You've seen what this defense is capable of doing. You never fear throughout the rest of the season that there's any sense that you can't come back and win a game. And that matters because I've seen moments in the Baltimore Ravens where you're just like, this team doesn't look like they think that they can win, right? And you're like, that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's clear as day to me when you sit there and you watch it. You don't get that sense with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That matters, and now you have real, this season, you're not going based off of last season or the season before. This season, this roster, this coaching staff. It was just a couple weeks ago, right? In 5 weeks from now, 6 weeks from now, whatever it is, when there's a game that you're down big, maybe in the fourth quarter, you're down by 14 or something, down by 10, like you're not batting an eyelash. You're not concerned. You know that you can come back. You know you can compete. You know you can overcome a ridiculous blocked field goal, scoop and score touchdown. You've been there, and it was this season. You don't have to go too far back. Like, I think that type of stuff matters tremendously. And I think considering how well they've been able to compete, and yeah, listen, I always talk about this, like you're always going to have close games, which is what Todd Bowles was pretty much saying. The problem is that for the Bucs so far, their close games, they weren't necessarily in control. They come back and win, but you want to be able to start to win games where, yeah, they're close, but you're the one that's in control. Just like how the Eagles versus the Bucs last week, the Eagles were in control. The Bucs were the ones that needed to play the catch-up. The Bucs were the ones that really desperately needed that touchdown and the 2-point conversion. that gives so much more freedom and flexibility for that Eagles team. They're more in the driver's seat in that moment. And even if they give up that score, now they have the potential to say, all right, well, it's our job now to try to make sure that all we do is just need a field goal now to win this game. And if not, hey, we're still tied. We got overtime. You just have a lot more freedom and flexibility. You're in a lot more control and a lot more power in that moment. That's what you want to be able to see the Bucs be able to do. But I think the fact that they've been able to rip off all these wins, play the way that they've been able to play, and they haven't even been remotely fully healthy is great. And now listen, we always say this, oh, everyone's injured, everyone's got injuries, and et cetera, et cetera. And that's all true. But here's the reality. Here's the interesting thing. They have a really aggressive and, dare I say, like violent running attack. And they will have, when all three of these receivers are playing together, they will have the best trio of receiver. I mean, like, it's just like 1-1-1. And that's going to be fascinating to see. It's going to be fascinating. I mean, like, you're flushed with offensive power there. All you need is a defense that is just remotely capable. And you're going to have a violent and aggressive and physical run game. And you have three, awesome wide receivers. I mean, it's going to be, you're making life easy for Baker at that point. Easy for Baker. All you do is just got to give him just a half second in the pocket and you're going to be able to get work done. And, I think the coaching staff, not only Todd Bowles, but then also the newish offensive coordinator, obviously was already with the Bucs before, but, first time play caller, which I think they discussed that about, was that against the Eagles when they were talking about, how he he would like watch college games and call them or something. I think that was, with the Bucs, but regardless, has done a really good job. No real growing pains, no real issues. You're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles new play caller, and you're like, there's some issues here. You're concerned about that. You see the new play caller for the Texans, you're like, I don't know about that. You felt that way originally with the Detroit Lions, but now he's picking up. Their new offensive play caller is picking up speed here. Doesn't really seem like there was too much of an issue there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this is a huge game. I think these teams can be very evenly matched, the Seahawks versus the Bucs. I think this is going to be a great barometer game for both these teams. I really do. I know, unfortunately, this game is going to get reduced down to, like, who's better, Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield? And whichever team wins, it's going to be like, I told you Sam's better. I told you Baker is better. And it's like, it can always be a little tough when games get reduced to that. But I'm still for it because it's still going to be fun. It's still going to be exciting. I made a Seahawks video recently talking about this game, and it was just like, once upon a time, like, I don't know if a lot of people were going to be that excited to watch a Bucs Seahawks game and a Baker versus Sam Darnold game. But now this game's like, I can't wait for this. This is going to be one of my favorite games of the year, let alone just this weekend. So I'm pumped for it. I'm excited for it. I hope we get to see high quality ball on by both teams. And yeah, I think both these teams are trying to solidify themselves as legitimate contenders and not just a cool story, not just a cool team. Like Colin said, like, the Bucs are good, not great. And it's like, taking care of a game like this for the Bucs is like, yeah, no, we take care of things. We don't drop a random game like this. We don't lose a tough game like this. We win a game like this. That's who we are, right? We come down to the wire with the Philadelphia Eagles. We take care of the Seahawks. We take care of the Falcons. We take care of the Texans. Like, that's the team that we are in. And so that's why I'm excited, because the Seahawks are going to feel the exact same way. So I just think it's interesting that I don't get too lost in the spread by any stretch of the imagination. I only ever use it as a reference point to kind of what, like, the general feeling is about who's supposed to win this game, who's the better team, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. I'm interested. I find it surprising because I just think that these are two really resilient teams right now. I think these are two really well coached teams right now, and I think these are two teams that have quarterbacks that have been playing really, really well and really great over the last couple of years that people are still reconciling with as to who these quarterbacks are. I think both Baker and Sam Darnold. If nobody really had a strong sense of the past, where they were drafted, what they did when they were first drafted, et cetera, and if you just saw how they are playing right now, they both would be getting paid $200+ million. Like, they both would be getting the, if they were up for a new contract, they'd be like, oh, okay, he's going to be up there with Tua and Trevor Lawrence, et cetera, right? Like, they would be following that, but because of their trajectory, because of how things unfolded for both of them, obviously they both did not get that huge contract, which bodes well for both individual teams here. So it is interesting. You see a lot of similarities here, but I'm interested to see how the offensive power from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield goes up against the Seattle Seahawks defense. And I'm fascinated to see how Sam Darnold goes up against this Todd Bowles defense. So, like, there's a lot of interesting things here. I wish this game was a standalone game, primetime game, but I also wonder, I assume it's Sunday, Fox. I don't know if there's any other big games on Sunday at that time, because I wonder if that's going to be Tom Brady then calling that game. So we'll see. Or Greg Olsen at the very least. It's got to be someone big doing that game. So I can't wait. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Are you with Todd Bowles? You're a little concerned about how the Bucs have been able to kind of win these games. How do you feel about this team as the weeks go on, especially in terms of how you feel they're going to play once they are having their trio of receivers playing together? To me, that's the most important health aspect of the rest of this team more than anything else. But let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.